Hi everyone, welcome to our fifth challenge, which is the fluid cover. Let's start by heading over to our top plane, selecting this, and let's create a new sketch. And I'm going to hit S for shortcuts. Let's create a circle with its center point at the origin. Diameter for this to be 90. Creating another circle. This time, the diameter for this will be 300. Hitting enter. And hitting escape. Let's exit out of sketch mode by double left clicking our blank graphics area. Heading to isometric view. Let me now hit S for our shortcuts, and I'm going to select Extruded Boss Base. Selecting this sketch, scroll down under Sketch Contours, left click here. I'm going to deselect the circular sketch region. Let me pull this arrow up. The height for this to be 60. And hitting OK. Before we add the shell feature, let's first flip this up. I'm going to select these two edges and add fillets. Radius for this to be 10. And selecting the green check mark. Let's now head over to our Features tab and select Shell. For the faces to remove, I'm going to select this top face, and for the thickness, it will be 10. Leaving the defaults, selecting the green check mark. Let's create the sketch for our cut extrusion. Selecting this face, creating new sketch. Hitting S for shortcuts. Heading over to our slots and selecting straight slot. Let's zoom over here. Left click and left click, creating a slot, and left click. Notice I did not input any value for now. Let's dimension this slot, hitting S for shortcuts, selecting Smart Dimension. Let me select this arc. Radius for this to be 15. Hitting enter and hitting escape. And notice this arc needs to be smaller in radius. Let me delete this arc. And notice it is currently a grouped entity. Let me hit S to grab our shortcuts and select Trim Entities. I'm going to trim out this arc. Notice we have a warning. I'm going to select OK. Delete this arc. Select both of these endpoints and move them closer to one another. Let's now add that arc. Hit S. Selecting 3-point arc. Let me zoom in. Left click here, left click, and left click. Hitting escape. Let's add dimensions. Hitting S, selecting Smart Dimension. Selecting this arc. Radius to be 10. Length of this line to be 35. Hitting escape, and let's inspect. Notice we need to add a tangent relation. Selecting this arc and this line, making them both tangent. Same with this line and this arc, making them both tangent. Selecting this line and this arc, making them both tangent. This line and this arc, tangent. And finally, I would like this point and this center point coincident. Let's inspect this sketch. And notice we have this point. I'm going to delete this. Hit S for shortcuts, selecting circle. Let's drop the center point of this circle at our origin. Diameter for this circle to be 195. Hitting enter. And I want this circle to be a construction entity, enabling for construction, and hitting escape. Next, let's locate the midpoint of this line and select our circle, holding control, and add a coincident relation. Zooming out, it's now fully defined. Let's exit sketch mode, hitting S for shortcuts, selecting extruded cut, sketch region automatically selected. For the direction, I'm going to select up to next. Selecting the green check mark, heading to isometric view. Let's finish this up by creating a circular pattern. Let's head up under this drop down, selecting circular pattern. For the features and the faces, I'm going to head over to our design tree, twirl this down, and select Cut Extrude 1. Scrolling up, activating direction, let me select this cylindrical face. And for the number of instances, I'm going to key in 12. Hitting enter and enter once more. And that's the fluid cover in Solidworks.